The next 5 minutes of video was edited out of the previous video of my rest stops because I thought it was a standalone video. I think it can stand alone not only for topic but for discussion, and I think the discussion is important. I wish you would watch the entire video before commenting and then give it a thoughtful comment and enter in the discussion. I think it's an interesting topic, and I would like to hear what you have to say. I'm not the only one that had this bright idea. This guy's divvied out over here. Easy peasy. Guess you can do that when you got a nice patch of grass to lay in. There goes my boy on the motorcycle. Wonder why he didn't come this way. You know, I wondered at the time what that was all about, but watching this again, it started to bother me. It was actually a shorter distance to come my way, and he could have stopped by and said hi, maybe find an interesting story. Was he a snob or was he just simply shy? He is clearly doing something similar that I am and camping off of a bike. Maybe we had a great deal in common. I tend to assume snobbery in cases like this, and I hope that I am wrong, but I've seen so many bikers pass me and other bikers on the side of the road in the last few years. I always assume them to be infected with RUBS, rich urban biker syndrome. But this guy did not seem to fit the profile. I guess I am overthinking it. I hope I am. But then he finally hit me with the double whammy and cranked up his bike and let it warm up for 15 minutes. I've never really understood that either. What's that all about? Do you really need to warm your bike up 15 minutes before you can roll down the road? Or is that just a thing you do with your cars in the winter to get that heater warmed up? I think it's a drama thing, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about the RUBS and the warming up the bike for 15-20 minutes. Help me out, will you? And don't think for a second I'm picking on this guy just because he rides a Harley. Hell, half my friends ride Harleys. I wouldn't be riding with anybody if I didn't hang out with Harley folks. And besides, there's other rubs and snobs out there riding other bikes. GSA snobs come to mind. Alright, I've lost all interest in this dude. And of course, after seconds of warming up the bike, I was ready to roll. I guess probably because the temperatures were closing on 70, I didn't feel like I needed to wait for the heated hand grips to warm up. But I did nail this nice wheelie coming off the sidewalk there. I wonder if my boy did anything like that, or did he just stroll back in, jump on the interstate? Well, I hate that I didn't get to hang out with old boy. I'm sure he had some kind of a story. I mean, he was sleeping on the ground, so, maybe we were going down the same path. Just seemed really odd. So I removed this section from the rest stop video after talking to a buddy, and we both agreed that this needed to be a separate video, and maybe a bit more discussion. I was certain that any discussion of Bran might twerk some folks the wrong way. And while twerking is certainly not my sole intention, I think it is important to have an honest discussion about culture. It is one of the things that bikers never do, honest discussion. Just like the rest of our culture, if the conversation becomes uncomfortable, we take our ball and go home rather than work through any ideas. And like any ideas, I could be wrong on this one. I am sure some of you will say, but Don, why did you not go over and say hi? Maybe he got his feelings hurt. And to that I would say, good point. I guess you had to just be there and see how he avoided eye contact the entire time he was there. It was just really weird. That is all I'm saying. Shy? Sure. Likes his privacy? Maybe. Imposter syndrome? Perhaps he was afraid he might be discovered for being not legit, or whatever that means. All I know is that we probably had a lot more in common than not. At this point, I am more disturbed more that I did not just go over there and say hi and find out if he was a dick or simply just a bit insecure. I am sure we all compensate in some way or another for our perceived shortcomings, and as a result, we both missed a story. The last stranger on a motorcycle I spent the night with in a rest stop is now one of my riding buddies, and you can see his videos here. I want things to change. I want the small, tight-knit community of bikers to come back together and realize we are all on a similar path. How do we accomplish that?